color. Vibes.
Hiya! Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all my wonderful people filled with greatness. Before we get right straight into the foolery, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're feeling great, and even if you're not feeling so great. So last we left off with Cafe Unshot was God telling us the history of the human world and of Calum, I believe. So I just want to make sure that this is going to be a happy ending. I'm thinking it should be, though. So at the tail end of chapter 3 into chapter 4. Originally in Calum dwelled those with beautiful voices and pure energy such as Siren and Pegasus, a monster from Greek mythology that charmed people with its singing. In this game, it refers to a species of spirit beasts that inhabited Calum. For the Siren and for Pegasus is a horse with wings appearing in Greek mythology. In this game, it is a species of spirit beasts that inhabited Calum. Known as spirit beasts, these divine creatures existed alongside countless other things in nature. What brought a change was, due to certain circumstances, humanity arrived from a distant realm. With them, they brought science and technology to this world from their previous one. The spirit beasts were friendly towards the humans and fused their power with that of technology. In the short span of a little over a decade, Calum had been developed into a world of both divinity and science. However, when Calum reached the pinnacle of prosperity, the arrogant persons in power at the time and fools obsessed with technological development launched a certain development project. They were wildly successful at the hands of superb engineers. I was created along with this tower. To protect that perpetuity, I was given management rights on every mechanism existing on Calum. I followed their settings and concluded, see, this is why we gotta be careful. ChatGPT, Siri, Google, Gemini, all of them. I'm looking at all of you, even though I use a little bit of them. Oh, see, look. I shouldn't have just said the name like that. I scared myself. However, they, in terms of biology, it was true that they possessed superb functionality, in that case, I simply had to create upgraded humans with proclivities to change our excess removed. Considering that, as a result,
冷凍保存されていた最も優れた頭脳を有する人間の肉体と最高位の霊獣たちの遺伝子、それら最上の素材を用いて天使、魂を封じあらゆる無駄を削ぎ落とした最高傑作にして究極の完成品たる生体端末を作成することに成功した。
その始まりの答えが私ということですね。
Once God tells the story up to creating angels, II interrupts. Wait, then angels were originally humans?
たださすがにそのことについては私も再接続されるまで知りませんでした。
知らぬのも無理はない。お前の調整と運用は天使の本格生産が始まった約数千年前にようやく開始されたのだから。
Dots from II. Seeing II go silent, God resumes playback of the past. After succeeding in the creation of angels, I utilized my authority over the mechanisms to eradicate all life forms to use as energy. I also prepared a specialized environment for their upgrade. The angels, the fully controlled variable on this world, is what I decided shall remain in perpetuity, settings which I have defended ever since, that peace and stability are now threatened. Apostle of judgment, since the moment you had fallen and became hidden from this heavenly world on a massive scale, wormholes with unclear destinations have formed. Many angels have dragged in, including the apostles, and all of their life signals have vanished.
すなわち、炉へ霊力を循環させる材料が大きく数を減らしてしまった。
At this rate of reduction in angel numbers, the stability of heaven will surely collapse. Well, we ain't worried about that like YEOW. Then what should I do to deal with it? The answer is clear.
天使の素材となった人間。それを人間界から多量に回収して新たな天使を再生産すればよい。そう、我々を脅かしているものと同一の現象、ホールを利用することによって。
We finally learned God's true intention. A mechanical God built through the fusion of divinity and science, possessing the ultimate artificial intelligence. In accordance with its settings at its time of creation, it eliminates all factors that bring change to Caleb. So that's...
人工的に人間界へのホールを開き、そこから人間たちを霊力炉に吸収、天使の材料とする。
それこそが救済。我が天界の 安寧の礎である。
Salvation, an artificially opened wormhole to absorb human from the human world into the spirit furnace. The God of the heavenly world came up with this plan to obtain new materials for new angels. That's from me. This is like something I'd hear from a movie trailer with no feeling of reality, but as though affirming this isn't a lie, the beautiful yet cold-looking spirit furnace shines above our heads. Absorb humans? And to where? Like what happens to dead angels? It was a sickening thought. It sent an icy chill down my back.
本来、その計画に利用するのは、あくまで一部の人間だけであった。
過去形ということはその方針が変わったと。
皇帝、その理由は他ならぬお前である。断罪の使徒カエルムの始まりの個体、我が一部である半身にして最高傑作。そのはずであったお前は一人の人間、その娘が与えた害により完全に落ちきった。
You can't call love evil. Huh? That's from II. Uh-oh. As though casting a sentence upon us.
よって人間が天使並びに天界へ及ぼす悪影響を事前に防ぐべく、その一切を残さず、全人類を天使として救済することをここに宣言する。
Yeah, this is pretty scary. The oracle of God echoes out. I'll bet with some confusion, I object to God's confident declaration. No way! That's not salvation!
認められるはずがありません。神、申し訳ありませんが、その身をこの場にて破壊させていただきます。
I shouldn't be shaking my head to them saying they're gonna destroy God, but this, well, who knows? II immediately takes a stance and fires a flurry of light arrows at God. However, right before they reach the body of God, they vanish as though melting away.
弾かれ、吸収された。
I mean, he did create you.
皇帝、生産者たる私に対し、お前たち天使の攻撃など霊力の還元に過ぎぬとし。
So maybe we need to destroy that furnace.
そんな。
加え、それだけではないぞ。
As though taking advantage of II's shock, the voice of God rings out and dots from II. II suddenly collapses and falls to his knees. II! Wondering what happened so suddenly, I look over his body and see on II's arms, legs, wings, neck, all over his body in every place, there are threads of light I've seen before, which is a technique used by God to restrain the bodies of angels. Despite having their connection severed, it is even effective on fallen angels at close range, as God only sees angels as puppets. They look much like the strings used to manipulate a puppet. The threads have forcibly sewn him to the ground. I instinctively put out my hand and try to pull the threads off. What is this? I can't grab them. I know for sure that II's body is tangled in those threads, but my fingers cannot grasp They cannot grasp them.
打点というかりそめの自由に思い上がったか。神たる私に逆らうとは愚かなり。
II grabs at the threads around his neck, trying to somehow get them off. But the more he struggles, the tighter the threads entangle him.
本来ならばお前も計画に参加させ成功率をより高めたかったが
Not anymore.
ソリトゥスの意識から先ほどの光景は見ていた。何度フォーマットしてもその度に落ちるというのならば、やはり我が身へ帰る断罪の使徒。
The moment an unsettling sound reverberates, II's form turns transparent. No, he was disintegrating into particles of life. II! I promptly extend a hand to him, but I already can't grasp his body. Oh my goodness, we back to the future in this thing. That's from II. Not only that, but it seems his consciousness is already starting to grow hazy. II! Snap out of it! II!
断罪の使徒よ、長きにわたる務めご苦労。お前は実に優秀な駒であった。
However, his use is done. The tone that plays feels like a broken puppet being thrown away. A desperate shout mixes in. Is it? I forgot his name. Elogi? I forgot his name already, how to pronounce it. Flying out of the tower at full force, the one to land and kneel between God and II is... Oh, is it Solitus? Oh. Time for you to fall too. What? Dots and a question mark from II? In front of a surprised me and II, Solitus desperately bows his head to God.
なぜ静止する？
断罪の使徒は二度と再生産できぬ個体ゆえに救済が成功したとしても我らを脅かすあの未知のホールが発生する可能性は未だ健在。その先にある脅威が見えぬ今、対抗しうる最大戦力を返すことは。
You try to dress it up like that, Solitus, but we all know you care about our lovely II. Dots from God. Perhaps out of respect to Solitus' objections, God goes silent, and II's body stops from disintegrating momentarily.
黙れ。これ以上神のお心に信託に抗うな。でなければお前の身が。だったら抗えるようにしてやるまでよ。
Yes, that's Ignis speaking there. Dots and a question mark and exclamation point from the both of them.
これは
またしてもあのジャミングか。
You're back! Exclamation points from II. Ash colored light sprays out, and the moment a short out noise sounds from God in Solitus, II's form returns to normal. The light restraining II also vanishes, and he stands up right away.
ジョーさん、無事か?
Epilogue. I said epilogue. Something like that. Epilogue. You didn't jump into the laboratory wormhole.
俺一人でのこのこ逃げられるかよ。乗りかかった船は最後まで付き合うって決めてんだ。
Oh, it seemed like they're using the same voice actor from Ignis and him. I thought it was Ignis. Despite being covered in cold sweat, he makes a bold smile and immediately faces II.
さすがに神そのものの機能停止なんざうまい話があるとは思っちゃいねえが、それでも時間稼ぎくらいにはなるはずだ。つうわけで断罪のじゃねえ、いる。あとは自力で逃げ切れるな。
はい。今我々の拠点アンシャンテの座標をあなたの持つロザリオに送りました。例のホールから人間界へ移動後、それを頼りに我々との合流を。
Yay.
おう、器用なことすんじゃねえか。
Probably to go escape through the wormhole in the laboratory, Epilogue flies back down into the tower.
一気に加速します。しっかり捕まっていてください。
Okay.
待て、行くな、断罪の使徒。
So we're not destroying God then, because it seems like we did all this just to escape because we can't do anything. Where's Messire at? Solitus props himself up with his spear and tries to approach us. But II, carrying me, spreads his wings wide and soars quickly into the sky. As though trying to gain distance from him, we accelerate and accelerate and accelerate, like drilling a hole straight to the wrecked ship with the gate. Then we leap into the gate, standing there in that dark space. We're back in the cafe, upside down.
さすがに勢いをつけすぎましたね。
He sounds pained, and when I raise my head, II collapses onto his back. It seems he was shielding me completely with his arms. II, are you okay?
はい、どうにか。
Still upside down, II looks at his surroundings. Oh, you all made it back. Dots from the regulars. Dots from II. Apparently everyone had returned first, and their eyes meet. II starts blinking his eyes and stands up while still supporting me.
おや、何やら皆の顔を見るのが久しいような、そうでないような。それに皆揃って妙な表情ですが、何かあったのですか？
何かもクソもあるか、このバカ野郎。
This can't be the end.
あ、痛いです。
I miss this music though. It's been a while since I heard it.
なぜ皆一斉に今日は何も騒動を起こしましたが、店に被害は与えていませんよ。
My II. With Ignis's roar as a signal, everyone starts rubbing II, lightly poking at him and more, all while mobbing him, with, of course, all smiles. That's from me. After watching this sight for a while, quiet footsteps approach. When everyone notices this, they all get away from II as though handing him over.
はい、ただいま戻りました。
I know. Let's take a little clip of that. After his appearance, Monsieur makes a gentle smile, like being happy that family has returned. After the lively welcome for II, with his regained emotions settles down, you've been had. Think about everybody else in Rendo's chapters. It will make me look at the assistant different when I get to Monsieur's route. Mikado visited the shop after quite some time and starts banging his small palms on the table, clearly expressing anger at those not present.
個人的に使える助手が欲しいなって上に内緒で募集かけたらレアな天使が面接に来てこれラッキーあわよくばサンプルもらおっと
Oh, so you knew your assistant was an angel that whole time? What the what?
って思って雇ったのに最近は給料も上げてあげたのに
Well, we know what happened when you got a promotion. You went ahead and started killing everybody in the GPM.
おい、もしかしなくてもあんたが諸悪の根源なんじゃ。
リンド、悪いことは言わねえ。こいつはクビにしとけ。
Yes, fire him right away.
やめて僕から研究という生きがいを奪わないでというか
What's that?
悪気はなかったんだよ
See, take away his research and the reason to live because he needs to do the research for Shizuku.
ジョシ君がイル君の知り合いなのはもちろん察してたけどさ
How?
けどそんなものすごい因縁があるとは思わないじゃないか
As Mikado laments, according to him, apparently he didn't even know that angels are emotionless. Having regained his emotions, II is somewhat sympathetic of him.
まあ一方的に彼を責めることもないかと GPM に潜伏せずともソリティスならば私を追い詰める策をいくらでも用意できたでしょうし
お前がそう言うのであれば我らもこれ以上の追求は済む。
それよりミカド、反省してるならもっとしっかりイルを見てよね。
わかったよイル君じっとしていてくれたまえよ
Mikado stands on tippy toes, and peers into II's eyes as he sits next to me using a pen light. After saying, while observing both eyes, he puts the light back in his pocket.
変に操作されているような奇妙なブレや動きもないし先ほど行った精神鑑定もまあちょっとボケた回答はあったけど問題はないと判断できる
Then
断言するよその神とやらからは完全に解放されているね
all right, that's great too.
はいこれも皆とマスターのおかげですねありがとうございます
それはめでてんだろうけどよ
As II smiles, Ignis gives him a straight look.
なあお前も例の乙女ゲームの真似事はやめたんだよ
Probably not.
ええ自我が目覚めた今その必要はありませんから
But what's your real personality, II?
あ、
俺もイグニスの言いたいことわかる。それにしてはなんか。
おい、イル。試しにちょい表情をキリッとさせてみろ。ダメだ、5秒も持たねえ。こいつ本当にちゃんと人格を手に入れたのか？
あまり雰囲気が変わっていないな。
Oh, now that you mention it, I wonder why.
いや、それはそうだろうね。僕も話を聞いて、例の乙女ゲームに登場するイルファド・デ・リエとやらについて調べてみたけどね。ほら、公式サイトに掲載されている彼の紹介文をよく読んでみたまえよ。
After saying this, Mikado shows us on a large tablet screen a sheltered noble who was brought up overprotected, a recluse of sorts. Ah, that reminds me, his background was something like that. Dots from me. More dots from me. Wait, don't tell me.
聞けばここでもそれと似たような環境で生活していたんだろう。ならば新たに生まれた素の人格も似たようなものになって当然だね。
So now I've really been had. It's just too naturally this whole time.
まあせいぜいほんのちょっぴりしっかりした程度の変化なんじゃないかな。
Dots from everyone. We'll see if he's taken seriously or not. During his explanation, everyone grows a little weak and Ignis changes the subject.
つーか、お前が半身ってなんだよ。似合わねえな。
If he is, then he shouldn't have been devoured by you or that messed up by you. But he was on Earth, so he said he gets his powers when he's up in Calum. So I keep forgetting that.
そもそも神って機械なんだろ？なんだお前、ロボなのか？
What's your answer? II shakes his head at the question.
私は本来彼に搭載される予定の戦闘用プログラムを譲渡され生まれた個体なのです。
Okay. Alright, I'll take it because I was thinking you was an AI.
そのような個体は私以外には存在しませんので、故に半身とそう称されているのです。
なるほど。神が本来備えるべき機能であったものをイルが譲り受けているということか。
Was that what he meant by return unto me? At our words, II nods slowly. I notice his wings are still split, half black and half white. Perhaps it was because II chose his own form, which he manifested whenever he was at Enchant. After understanding all the explanations so far,
まあとにかくいろいろと危険もあったようだけど、君も無事でよかった。
when Rendo approaches with a gentle smile and attempts to place a hand on my shoulder, exclamation points from II.
ダメです。触らないでください。マスターは私のです。
I'll take it and I'm gonna record it too. But not the jealous kind, like not the killed somebody else for me kind, but it is kind of sweet. Huh? He suddenly embraces me from the side like he's shielding me, and I let out a weird voice. When I look, II is glaring at Rendo with a wary expression, although it's more protective than scary. Hey, II, Rendo didn't intend anything like...
ダメです。以前ミシェルやイグニスが言っていたのです。 リンドウは常に女性を狙う狼だと。あの時はリンドウも魔獣なのかと思った程度でしたが、今ならそれが大変危険な意味だと理解できます。ですから絶対にあなたへ近づけさせません。
I see. He's a dog. I mean, sure, II presses himself against me in a fawning way. He looks me straight in the eyes with his teary
情
eyes.
をなくしている間、ずっと近くにいたというのに、あなたとろくに触れ合えなかったのです。ですからその分、あなたの存在をより直に近くで感じていたい。あなたのぬくもりに触れて嬉しいと思う自分の心が間違いなく本物だと確かめたいのです。ダメでしょうか。
Ooh! I'm sure that's not his intention, but his fawning was terribly effective.
つーか、イチャつくなら二人きりの時にやれっての。
Don't be like that, Ignis.
なんていうか、空気読めないっていうか、読まないの変わってないね。
というよりもうすうす感じてはいたが、二人はやはりそのような関係に。
天使が恋人をね。ロマンに溢れてていいんじゃない？
It sure is.
まあこのぐらいゆるい雰囲気で話し合う方がアンシャンテらしいよね。もうそのままの体勢でいいから続けよっか。
No, it'll straighten up. This topic's gotten out of hand. I somehow persuade II to let go. Although we resumed the conversation, he stuck by me closer than ever. We began to discuss God's salvation initiative. Everyone sits in shock as I replay the memory in my head. However, maybe because everyone is used to extraordinary things happening, right away everyone believes it and starts seriously thinking of countermeasures.
その神とやらはいつホールをこじ開けるつもりなのだ。
I was making sure. I was like, it just seemed like we got right back here. We just gonna, I thought at first I got the bad ending. So, okay, countermeasures. Good. We're back to the topic of stopping this god and Solitus.
おそらくは3日後の正午になるでしょう。計画の規模が規模ですから、天崎島に出現したホール以上の巨大なものを開こうとするはずです。
いえ、またよくわかんねえ腕とか出てきたりしねえだろうな。
Yep.
それはないかと。今回は完全にこちらへ座標を固定していますし。
Okay.
座標って
Karya asks a question about the new word that popped up.
実は神が私を回収しようとしていた理由は、私が天界の兵器であるほかもう一つあったのです。むしろこちらが本命と言いますか。
What? II makes an expression more complicated than ever before and begins to reveal the situation. For the Salvation Project, God researched the wormhole phenomenon. After devising magic to open them, their assembly experiments were repeated numerous times. Solitus was sent to the human world for these experiments too. However, even with technology from the heavenly world, Assembling a stable wormhole to a specific other world proved to be difficult. A direct connection to the human world. It required a relay point fixed somewhere inside of the heavenly world. In reality, the experiment by the heavenly world to open a wormhole at Amasaki Island failed due to the lack of a relay point, which only put stress on the realm's stability. However, that was simply the final experiment before the real event. The heavenly world already found a solution to the problem. That's right, back then, Solitus found a reliable gate connecting heaven to earth. Oh, not our door. He discovered its existence at this shop, along with me taking refuge and living here. The first to react to II's explanation was Mikado, and he hits the table.
もしかしてここのゲートがホール構築に必要な中継点になっちゃったってことかい？
After everyone's surprise at Mikado's shouting, we all look towards the room with the gate.
私の脳にはここのゲートを利用した記録が刻まれていますから。
固有霊力観測、座標確定、個体番号オールゼロから緊急信号と再接続の申請を確認。接続完了。該当個体からの要請を認可。要求された処理の実行を開始する。
With the reconnection back then, precise coordinate information was sent to God. II says this in an apologetic way.
ごめん。ちょっと話が難しくてついていけないかも。
It's okay, Karya. It's hard for me too.
とってもシンプルに言うと。
Mikado has a cold sweat and points straight up.
神はゲートを目印にこの真上、つまりアンシャンテの上空に救済用のホールを開くつもりなのだね。
は？
Right over Enchant?
つまり3日後にはここが人類ピンチの舞台になるってこと？
はい、展開にとってはまさに良好だったでしょうね。姿をくらませていた私を発見できた上、その身に救済計画に必要な全情報が詰め込まれていたわけですから。
As II says this, he makes it sound like everything is his fault. He must feel responsible for it. It's okay, II. Don't make a face like that.
最終的に神たちの計画を阻止すれば良い話だ。
Thank you. As though saying this, II returns to his usual smile.
それで阻止する方法は？
救済計画のための超巨大なホール。すでに構築済みであろうそれを開かせないためには管理者である神を打つしかありません。しかしまさに神の見業というか、あまりに巨大すぎるホールを御すべく神はその身とホールを密に紐づけているはず。故にただ神を打つにしても加減せずにかのものを破壊すれば、その衝撃が開こうとしているホールを暴走させ、まあ人間界を含めた周囲の世界にとんでもない影響を与えるだろうね。それこそ人間界を含めたあらゆる異世界が 天使たちが消失したという謎の危険な世界につながってしまう可能性も。
しかしイル、それはお前の言葉通りであるならば加減せずの結果のようだな。逆に絶妙な加減で神を破壊すれば問題ないということになるのか。
はい、その通りです。
なるほどなるほど。仮に神の防御力を100とするなら101の値で破壊する必要がある。そういうことだね。出力調整系か。俺が一番苦手なタイプだね。
Oh, Monsieur. I can only imagine. It just seemed like you put a poof of your power out and then everything's destroyed. After Mikado's easy to understand example, Monsieur already shows signs of giving up. However, according to II, just hold back on power isn't quite what he's saying. The barrier protecting God was constructed from spirit energy from the furnace and is extremely strong. In terms of the human world, it's much like having the energy of the sun as your ally. Defeating that would require enough spirit energy or some alternative energy to destroy the sun. Monsieur can't control himself, and everyone else ends up powered down when going to Calum, right? Then don't put myself in it. What about Epilogue? Everyone focuses their gazes on II.
実質対応できるのはカエルムを故郷とする私だけ。
There we go. Finally, not myself putting myself in the action. However, the requirements are difficult. II's face darkens as though saying this.
まず大前提として天使の攻撃は神に通じませんし、そもそも神の間近では体の自由すらも奪われる危険性がありますから。
I actually saw that happen before, so my face goes just as dark as II's. Energy needed to destroy God, a way to make attacks affect God, a way to oppose God's control. Without these three things, II has no chance to defeat God. Dots from everyone. Then what can we do? Right when the conversation ends up at a total stalemate. There we go. This voice is Epilogue. Welcome back. Did you take care of everything? After meeting up in the human world, Epilogue had gone his own way for a while and returns with a lively response.
他の打天使たちも無事 GPM とやらに保護してもらえたぜ。それで入った時に聞こえた神へ抗う方法についてだが心当たりがなくもね。俺たちが根城にしてた研究所に来てみねえか。
研究所ですか？
あそこは天界カエルムっつう世界、それそのものの黎明期の研究所だ。つまり俺ら天使が生まれる前に人間たちが使用してた施設のはずなんだが、どうしてかそこにお前につながる記述がある。
To II, you say? But
おかしいですね。当時はあくまで神の開発が進められていただけで天使という概念はなかったはずですが。
ここで説明するよりは実際に見た方が早いだろうよ。
Led by Epilogi, hiding the presence of II and I, we head to Calum.
ここは
Yes, that same place. The moment we enter the laboratory, II lets out a heart-rending voice. Ah, I see. So this was the place. I also recall his memory we saw in the tower. II approaches the center of the room and gently falls to his knees. That's from II. He closes his eyes and softly puts his hands together in prayer. That's right. In the past, II spent time here with the Apostles of Recollection, and it's the place where he killed them. II.
大丈夫です、マスター。私はただあの時返せなかった言葉を祈りによって伝えただけ。私と出会ってくれてありがとうと。
I see. I'm sure those two are happy. After closing his eyes in a heart-rending way, II quickly stands back up as though renewing his mood.
これであなた方が今まで無事に潜伏できていた理由が分かりました。ここは彼らが私の動きを封じた例のジャミングの術式を開発した場所です。端末に残されたデータを使い再構築、結界や監視の目をかいくぐるのに利用していたのですね。
ああ、それ自体を見つけたのは完全な偶然だけどな。死を司る追憶の使徒様が残したものってんなら、ジャミングの強力さにも納得だ。つっても悪用されないためか再構築には回数制限があったけどな。
Due to that, jamming can't be used anymore. He mutters this in a dejected way. Then all the information about Calum and the data records you talked about before are also...
まあその二人だろうよ。当時は関係ねえとよく見ずに放置してたが、今回のドタバタでそういやこんなもんがあったなと思い出してよ。今となっちゃ随分と気になる記述だぜ。
Dots and a question mark from II. For some reason, Epilogi is looking at II with
と
interest.
もかくデータを再生するぞ。劣化してるからところどころ欠けてるかもしれないが。
Epilogi starts operating it, and the window floating in the air displays text that I can't read. This seems to be the writing of Calum. The two of them start reading it aloud in a way for me to understand. It was a record left by a certain virtuous scientist who was involved in developing God. Let's see who this is. It better not be Mikado. This is a record I leave for self-contention. I pray a person of sound character finds it. As a child, I arrived on this world over a decade ago. Those in power and my fellow scientists are foolish. They disrespect the spirit beasts who are friendly towards us and aim to create forbidden technology. To create an autonomous artificial intelligence for total control over this world. a project to develop God. I thought it truly ludicrous, but unfortunately, I seem to possess special talents as a scientist. I wonder if this is II's early days. I was forced to participate in this development project and imprisoned in this laboratory. I cannot hold back my disgust. Maintaining equilibrium is impossible. I'm sure this God would find its human creators unnecessary and exterminate them. Despite my objections, none of my colleagues would listen. In that case, I must fight alone. I have little time. Due to the unreasonable development schedule, my body is gnawed away by illness. I'm sure my life will be exhausted by the time God is completed. Before then, I must do something. Unseen by my colleagues, I decided to prepare 2 countermeasures. The first, forgotten by people at the end of prosperity, to preserve a way to return to God one day, I made the existence of square boxes completely hidden. I don't know, feel like it's Wheel of Fortune here or something. If the completed God or people in power realized the existence and function of God, there is no mistake that they would misuse it. To do this, I made allies of the spirit beasts, captured in the laboratory as test subjects. Giving them a terminal with a unique concealment system, I succeeded in letting them escape. Using that system, combined with the power they willed, hiding that space itself from visual perception and physical contact using a special barrier succeeded. Therefore, if I die, none will know of the existence of that place. If possible, before then, I'd like to escape from here. And even if 2 square boxes, I'd like to return to dearly missed God. I also applied a genetic authentication system so only me, as the exception, could discover it, but the hopes of that are slim. Also, the next measure is my true intention. After completion, to prepare for God's episode, a way to neutralize all commands and functions. In the end, I will implement a self-destruct failsafe to implement into the artificial intelligence in secret. I shall call it
断罪プログラム。
お前に与えられた役割と同じだ。
Wow.
本当ならこのプログラムは神が人間を害した時に発動したんだ。
From there, it switches to II's friends, a record left by the Apostles of Recollection. However, the virtuous scientists made one miscalculation. That was putting the judgment program inside of the combat protocol in order to conceal it. That's right. After his death, the completed God created the first angel as a weapon, and he transferred that part of himself into the apostle of judgment. Therefore, after parting with it, God could process doing harm to humans without self-destructing. Humans, spirit beasts, all existences that threatened perpetuity were killed and used as materials for angels. However, in exchange, while the Apostle of Judgment was the most loyal individual to God, he was also the only individual created with the function to destroy God. If he awoke to his own will and determined God to be a threat, he could use that program turn his blade against God and overthrow him. Oh my goodness. Here I am thinking II's an AI and he's the next god. That's for me and II. After I shocked at the truth, we started talking it over to piece it together. If we could manage to activate the judgment program within II, he wouldn't be restrained by a command like before. In fact, he could neutralize the functions of God. Heck yeah.
生産者たる私に対し、お前たち天使の攻撃など、霊力の還元に過ぎぬと知れ。
He could even destroy God? This is amazing! To think we found the one way to defeat that God. We were at a stalemate before, but now I see a ray of hope.
問題は他にもあるが、ひとまずの手がかりにしちゃ上出来だぜ。
When me and Epilogi looked towards II with smiling faces,
なるほど。エピロギ、その断罪プログラムの設計を記すコードなどは拾えていますか？
ああ、もちろんだ。ただ暗号化が複雑すぎて俺にはちょいと読み解けねえな。
私なら解読できるかもしれません。少し見せていただけますか？
Epilogi nods, then switches places with II. II fiddles with the device as well as the code for the judgment program. It scrolls by at high speed with hundreds of thousands of strange symbols and letters. And after following it with his eyes,
なるほど。完全な解読には時間がかかりますが、確かにこの機能ならば神の打倒が。
The moment he says this, the movement of II's fingers stops suddenly. That's from II. With wide-opened eyes, he stares intently at the window and is left speechless. II, what's wrong?
何か問題でもあったか？
いえ、かなり複雑なコードだったので少々驚いただけです。発動のためのパスワードも3日後には解けるかと。
救済計画の直前じゃねえか。なら死ぬ気で間に合わせねえとな。ただ一つ確認させてくれ。ちょいと心配なことがあって。
Something that worries you?
この記録を見る限り、断罪プログラムってのは神を自戒させるための機能。
Judgment program, a self-destruct function hidden in the combat program by a certain scientist. Because of his fear of God, it has presently been inherited by II.
お前が神そのものとつながらないと発動できねえってのは間違いない。
ええ、その必要があるでしょう。その上で彼と私の意識を一時的に同一化させる必要が出てきます。
What? There's a word I can't ignore and interrupt without thinking. What do you mean, merged?
わかりやすく言いますと、再接続とはまた別の機能で神と意識を共有することですね。
Is that really okay? You have to self-destruct after that. Wouldn't you pretty much be destroying yourself? That sounds like it would affect you.
ああ、いえ、心配はいりませんよ、マスター。
I better not be getting the bad ending. I'm shaken by unease, but to give me peace of mind, II gives me a cheerful smile.
意識の同一化というのは神へ自戒を作用させるための一時的なものですから。もともと肉体も分離していますし、私に何ら影響はありませんよ。
Really? Then that's good.
では早速この件を皆に知らせましょう。
Yeah! Following after a smiling II, we leave the laboratory. Oh. The next day, resistance operations against the Salvation Project began. The way to overthrow God, the time estimated to prepare the judgment program, is 3 days later. The timing really was just before the heavenly world executes its salvation project, but they likely know that we'll try to interfere. Using the memories of Solitus and II, they know the combat potential of Enchant. They would definitely take measures against us, so we divided roles just in case. Just like back at Amasaki Island, Messire was to operate the wormhole from Earth. However, it won't be possible to completely close the wormhole, so this isn't anything but buying time. Epilogue will support Messire, and after God has been defeated, we'll search for and rescue abducted humans. Mikado and Mr. Rendo will lead evacuation of residents in the area estimated for the wormhole to open. Ignis and Canis will hold off any angels likely to try and interfere with Messire. And II will hurry to ascend the tower and confront God using the judgment program before the spirit furnace starts to absorb. However, it sounds like one of the tower's functions is to deploy a barrier around it. The judgment program can't do anything to the tower itself. Like last time, it will be necessary to ascend from the inside. And while I should normally stay behind since I'd get in the way,
わがままなのは承知の上です。ですが私はあなたについてきてほしい。
it is selfish, but it's II asking, so I guess.
何があっても必ず守ります。どうか私の決着をその目で見届けてはくれませんか。
II asked me directly. Yes, no matter where it might be, I'll see it through to the end, by your side. I don't have any reason to decline. I nod without hesitation. General perspective, or God's perspective. Salvation time soon approached.
ホールの構築完成と霊力炉の稼働時刻が決まった。
Dots from Solitus. In the heavens with God, the apostle of the oracle bows his head.
断罪の使徒は間違いなくこちらの計画を妨害しに来るだろう。前回はお前の意見を聞きその身を逃がしたが次はない。あれが私のもとにたどり着けば必ずやその肉体を我が身へ戻す。
決してあなた様の救済の妨害はさせません。そして二度とあれが落ちることがないよう当個体が完全なるフォーマットを果たし回収してみせましょう。
In order to confront the Apostle of Judgment, to perform final maintenance on himself, after watching Solitus fly down into the tower, God plays to himself.
誰もまた替え時か。
I figured. I knew he was going to call that out. I'm like, you over here having not feelings like feelings, but, you know, camaraderie between angels or oracles or whatnot. So, yeah, Solitus may be on our side at the end of the day. Dots from this thing, the spirit furnace. More dots. Even more dots. Back to my perspective. Monsieur prepares his magic. GPM instructs residents to evacuate. While everyone fulfills their roles, 2 and others rush to analyze the judgment program. As for things I can do to help everyone get even a little rest, continuing to brew delicious coffee is about all. Before I realized it, the time had flown by. It was night before our plan would take place. 2's perspective. To prepare myself to see God, in my own room, I run a pen through a letter set. That's from me. As I write the text, I ponder to think a time would come when I, of all people, would try to destroy God. Several thousand years passed since my creation. In all that time, it never crossed my mind, not even once, nor had I the capacity to contemplate such things, or some things, excuse me. Yeah, some things, such things, same thing. I doubt anyone in heaven ever thought that I could fall. While God, my creator, obviously understood such things, he is likely still angered by this. He likely thinks that if one creates a puppet, the very basis for emotion should have been erased from the start. However, regardless of how much unnecessary is removed from angels as superior beings, and I, myself, was called the greatest masterpiece among those angels. Tracing back, the material for me was a human. Such living beings were used as materials to create the upgraded life form. So of course they possess a soul. Even God couldn't remove that and could only seal it away. That's right.
私たちには魂がある。
That's from me. That's why I shall use that soul to make it possible to overthrow God. As I think of such things, my pen completes the final stroke.
書き終えてしまいましたね。手を尽くしましたが、結局断罪プログラムを用いる以外の方法は見つかりませんでしたか。
What I wrote were 2 letters. One of them, after staring down at it,
やはり残すのはエピロニ宛てのものだけにしておきましょう。
right, because don't you dare. After changing my mind, I go to tear up the other letter, but that's from me. Uncautiously, the thing running down my cheek falls onto the letter. No, 2.
心を得てから私はずっと
No, it's not pathetic, too. It's just you releasing all the pent-up emotions, basically. That's for me as too. The letter I was trying to destroy, that I grip it tightly and press it against my cheek to hide my pathetic face.
やっと理解できると思ったのに、ずっと求めていたあの感情を彼女と一緒に、
It's unfair. It's unfair. It's unfair. How many times did I repeat those words over the last 3 days? If possible, I would run away with her right this moment. However, if I don't do this, everything ends. All the cherished things I've built up will vanish along with this world. Then, at least... Two, I like your smile. I must make this battle meaningful to protect the time and place I spent along with her. This time, I stow the letter in a place it can't be found and wipe away what's in my eyes. I'm sure she's likely still awake, and I go to her. My perspective? I'm so nervous. I can't sleep. As I sit in bed, I hold Kororo and mutter this. No, to be exact, I don't feel like sleeping. I don't even have the willpower to change my clothes. As usual, night at Anshan is peaceful. Even the sky looks so pretty. But tomorrow, right over Anshan, a battle with angels for the fate of every person in the world will happen. Even you, Kororo. Yeah, I know, Kororo. After all this, it's still unbelievable. I wouldn't say anything like that. Suddenly, a knock rings out. Everyone said they were going to bed early in preparation for tomorrow. Who could it be? When I say come in... Ah!
起きていると思っていました。
It was II who visited, but he has a somewhat sad smile. Yeah, I see it.
空気を読めないとまた言われてしまうかもしれませんが。
II.
マスター、よければ私とデートをしてもらえないでしょうか。
Yay! I'd love to. After such a wonderful invitation held by II, we fly through the night sky and arrive at... Back then, the viewing deck we visited at the end of a date with him. How nostalgic. The night wind swaying my hair is the same as that time. Quietly, me and II sit down on a stable part of the scaffold. Dots from the both of us. The two of us remain silent for a while and look down at the illumination of the city. Dots from II. II suddenly closes the distance between us, and as he cuddles up to me, he begins to speak quietly.
あのデートの時のこと、本当にごめんなさい。
Huh? Back then? Could he mean?
私はあなたの自然な笑顔が好きなのです。それを取り戻すためならどのようなこともしてみせます。 それこそ世界を敵に回すことさえも。他人の言葉を借りてあなたを励ますなど。
See, yeah, I remember now. Yeah, of course. It don't matter. I still love hearing it from you too.
私はあの雰囲気であのセリフを言えば女性は元気になるものだと思っていて、私が模倣していた彼のセリフをそのまま再生してしまったのです。
When II admits this, I return a smile to him. It's okay. True, you may have chosen the words by referencing a video game, but it's also true that you showed me such a beautiful sight, wanting to cheer me up.
ありがとうございます。ですが不思議ですね。あれからそれほど時間は経過していないはずなのに、あの時のことが遠い昔のように思います。それはきっと私がイルとして自己を確立していなかったがゆえに、当時の記憶を夢うつつのように感じているのでしょう。いえ、当時の私の人格こそが夢だったと言うべきでしょうか。
That's from me. Is that true? He did his best to propose the date, so I think he was the same gentle II since back then. And supposing, even if he wasn't, you're here beside me now. Like this, you've cuddled up to me by your own will. You aren't a fictional person. The wings on II's back flap slightly. Or so I thought, but he was just using his wings to shield me from the night wind. How warm. As I entrust myself to him, he asks me an unexpected question. Oh, he's trying to determine if he wants to go ahead and run away with me now. Yeah, I like my coffee shop, bro. Of course. It's the place I met you and everyone. I like it a lot. And I'm confident that I'll like it from now on and forever.
そう言ってくれてよかった。これで私も戦う覚悟を決められます。
After II makes a decisive nod.
マスター、私は神殺しという新たな罪を背負います。無感情だった、操られていた、など、多くの命を奪ってきた言い訳になりません。私は今まで犯してきた罪を、この断罪で少しでも償うつもりです。私はもう、自分の使命から逃げない、怯えない。
After II says this firmly, I understand, but you don't need to carry it all alone. You have me and everyone at Enchant. If you're hurting, eat a float or other sweets at the shop. Make merry with everyone and soothe your heart. That's right. This place will always be home to you too. That's from II. II.
そうですね。必ず帰ります。
Yes, I know that's a lot of II.
たとえどんな形になったとしても。
After II says this, he draws me even closer. I love even closer. Understanding the meaning of this, I close my eyes, then kiss. Yes. Heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. This is what I needed to see. It could have happened last chapter though. But this is what I needed to see. A kiss is gently dropped upon my lips. That's from II. Right now, only one such emotion exists in this world, and by his own will, he directs it towards me. The moment I feel it, a happiness I can't put into words fills my chest. For seconds, or tens of seconds. After feeling each other's warmth like this, reluctant to part, we press our lips together.
どれだけゲーム画面で見ていてもいざ大切な人とするとなると緊張で震えてしまうものですね。
With a gentle smile, II starts drawing up bright
全
futures.
てを終えて戻ったらあなたとやりたいことがたくさんあるのです。まだ手伝いはシーツを干すことしか成功していませんから、もっともっとあなたにとって頼れる男に。
That right there, no matter the gender, being a reliable person is what's missing nowadays from a good majority of people on Earth. Maybe because he looks forward to that future, II's wings sway happily.
次は皿洗いです。その次は料理。あなたと一緒に料理を作ってみたい。みんなに美味しいと言わせてみたい。都会以外の場所にも行きたいですね。そうだ、あなたの故郷にもう一度行きましょう。あなたの生まれた家を見てみたい。それによく考えたらあの時は海をじっくり眺める暇もありませんでした。それから伝えたい言葉があるのです。私の胸に宿ったあなたへの温かな思い、きっと世界で唯一の私だけの思いを。本当は今すぐにでも伝えたい。いえ、伝えるべきなのでしょうが。でもどうかそれは全てが終わるその時に。
Feelings he wants to tell me? I immediately understood the meaning, but I won't say it. Instead, okay, I'll be waiting. I nod with cheeks flushed hot with happiness.
マスター、私の心を奏でてくれた大切な音色よ。私の思いと歌はすべてあなたに捧げます。
He draws me close once more, and without hesitation, I answer his kiss again. And again, and again, and again, forevermore. I needed to see that. Then, just before noon on the big day, as though announcing the time, an evacuation alert echoes out. The government made an announcement thanks to the distraction Monsieur made. There was the possibility of a mass disaster due to adverse weather conditions. Good excuse. How the government got people to believe such absurd stories is impressive. Also, the mass disaster trying to occur isn't due to a bit of abnormal weather. The sound of cracking space was the signal for us to take action. Within moments, the sky begins to stain red. Then, in the center, just like on Amasaki Island, a giant wormhole begins opening to evade the human world. From that gap, a large number of figures fly out. They're probably angels trying to stop Messire. In that case, there's no mistake that the other side of the wormhole is Heavenly World Calum. More specifically, the spirit furnace trying to absorb humans for God's salvation project. During this, we stand in front of the gate to immediately head to the Heavenly World.
戦闘用の天使はミシェルたちの足止めに全投入されているようですね。ただし、一人を除いて。
Yeah. II's eyes narrow. He probably means him waiting for us at the tower.
断罪プログラム発動用のコード解析もなんとかギリギリ間に合ったな。準備はいいか？いる。
もちろんです。最後の懸念であった必要な霊力の件も任せてください。供給先の当てはありますので。
よし、それじゃあ。
どの吸引が始まる前に反撃。反逆といきましょう。
At the same time, II makes a cheerful smile. Ignis and Canas, who are to help slow down the angels, come walking over with loud footsteps.
どれだけの戦力を揃えていようと、この地、人間界、断じて被害は出させん。
Thanks, my first scenario, hubby.
だから安心して戦ってくると帰りを待っているぞ、マスター。
てめえのために働くんだ。戻ってきたらなんかおごれよな。
Sure, we'll treat you to some nice, solid steel clouds.
そういえば私を箱入りと呼ばなくなって久しいですね。
今のお前にそんなあだ名は必要ねえだろ。行ってこい。上から目線のクソ野郎に目にもの見せてやれ。
ええ。
You all be careful too. After giving each other a last smile, Ignis, Epilogi, and everyone run off. Alright then, as though saying this, we go to open the door when there's a sudden ring on my smartphone. While we don't really have time to answer, it's from Karia, who's supposed to have evacuated.
きっと身を案じてくれているのでしょう。最低限の挨拶で済むでしょうし、出ても大丈夫ですよ。
Thanks to the connection's bad in here, so I'll take it outside real quick. To put Karia at ease, I hurry outside the gate room. Dots from me.
や、ちょっとお邪魔するよ。おや、ミシェルどうしました？ホール抑止のために配置についたはずでは？
ちょっとイルに確認しておきたくてさ。本当に行くんだね。
ええ、もう決めたことです。これは私にしかできないことですから。やはりあなたは里井。あの話を聞いて気づいたのですね。本当に底の知れない不思議な人だ。
That's from Messire.
あなたには大変お世話になりました。ここに来たばかりのことをようやくすべて思い出せたのです。情けないことに 草案に拾われたこと以外、ほとんど記憶が飛んでいまして、てっきりあなたにも正体を隠せているものと。あなたが手を差し伸べてくれなければ、きっと私はマスターと出会えなかった。感謝しています。
いる。俺は。
それ以上は言わないでください。言うならどうか、一言だけ。
That's from Monsieur.
わかった。言っておいで、いる。君が守りたいものを守れるように。
はい、行ってきます。ミシェル、私の大切な家族。
Sorry for the wait too. Karya said he's... Huh? Monsieur, why are you here?
一応、お見送りをしようと思ってね。二人とも、行ってらっしゃい。
Yeah, when we get back, we'll all have a tea party.
では、今度こそ行きましょう。すべてを終わらせるために。
Here's hoping to that tea party. Much like when we headed to Calem to save II. I put my hand over his, slowly turn the doorknob, and head into the overflowing light. After passing through the gate, it's a contest of speed. The moment we're out, II picks me up and makes a straight line for the tower in the center of the world. As usual, in front of the tower. Excuse me. Let me drink my little drinky drink. Okay. As usual, in front of the tower is a door with a powerful barrier, but while it tried its hardest, the arrows of light fired by II blow it down by force. Datsun a couple exclamation points from II. We instantly enter inside. He says nothing to me to confirm and just gives me a glance. Then takes off like a bullet, aiming for the summit where God is. An ordinary person wouldn't even be able to perceive the speed. Datsun exclamation point from II. Something white falling from above stops him. When he notices it, II takes a big turn. The falling slash of light cuts through the feathers left by II in the air. That's from me. Inside this tower, no, in heavenly world Calem, trying to stop us, there exists only one angel.
断じてこの先には行かせん。
Solitus.
あなたが立ちふさがりますか。それほど神の信託に。
信託だと。
After giving us a cynical laugh.
そんなものはどうでもいい。
Well, dang. Opposed to II's surprise, Solitus spits up an obsessive shout.
今度こそお前を取り戻してみせる。お前が何度でも落ちるのなら、その度に頭個体が正すまで。
Yeah, that's the true definition of Solitus falling down from the grace of God. There's only one thing on his face.
お前がいるべきは人間界ではない。この閉ざされた箱庭の世界。お前と頭個体が共に守り続けてきた世界だ。お前を元あるべき姿に戻し、 落ちる原因となるその人間を殺す。
Nothing but pure anger.
ソリツス、あなたは
Dots from II. After listening to Solitus's shouting, After listening to Solitus shouting, II relaxes the strength of his arm holding me. Forms walls of light into a cube and seals me inside it, then faces straight at Solitus. II! It's like a cage of light floating in the air. From inside, I hurriedly call to him.
大丈夫ですよ。すぐに終わらせて、あなたと再び塔を登ります。
Dots from Solitus.
ソリツス、彼女を狙っても無駄です。あの結界は私の霊力と直接リンクしています。彼女を殺したければまず私を殺しなさい。とはいえ殺されるつもりも毛頭ありませんが。
なるほど。お前をフォーマットし結界が解けたところで殺せばいい話だ。
させません。
They glare sharply at each other. In this tower, piercing the heavens, only these two angels exist within. When I blink, my eyes dried in nervousness. Their forms vanish in that moment. Light and spear slash crash together. II's perspective. The two lights race through the tower like a gale, at a speed the human eye can't discern. Even Renoni, that's me, likely cannot tell what's occurring before her eyes. However, as one of those fighting, I have a calm grasp of the situation.
うがて!
When I fire a rain of light from Solitus' back, small spears of light fire to oppose it. In terms of number and power, I currently have the upper hand, but...
私は打天使能力が低下しています。使用できる霊力が現時点で限られている。
Dang.
加えこの狭い空間での戦闘、近接戦闘に特化したソリツスが有利なのは明らか。
As expected, hidden behind the lights, Solitus closes in with spear in hand. I promptly choose to evade and execute it. After barely almost hitting the wall, I immediately turn. This time, I take his back and pursue him. With no care for damaging the surroundings, I continue to fire attacks incessantly, only looking to bring him down. However, he accelerates to overtake me, and when he passes, as we intersect, he launches a single attack at extreme speed, while I had been blocking him with barriers. His spear finally grazes my arm. The compulsory command instantly through the wound and approaches my brain. Of course, Solitus wouldn't miss such a chance.
エース、断罪の使徒よ、今すぐ戦闘行動の停止を。
その権限を破壊する。
I activate the judgment plan. In exchange for a burning pain, a part of God's functions, the oracle in my body is destroyed.
生命令を無効化しただと。
こちらにも切り札がありまして、 さすがに3度も同じでは食いません。
意識を奪い抵抗すらさせるまで。
Solitus grasps his spear and grasps. I can't say that word. Solitus grasps his spear in one hand. Too many S's. Ah! I immediately understand what that means. I go to oppose it with the same attack. That's an exclamation point for me. I inhale, vibrate my throat, and extend my arm. Song and song turn to different shades of light bombardments and collide. While intense, the battle is beautiful. If someone witnessed this spectacle, they would likely describe it that way. The mid-air battle ebbs and flows. Soaring through the tower at high speed, I close the distance, take my distance, attacking and defending, depending on the time. However, my brain makes a calm determination. Because I lack spirit energy, I cannot fire a decisive blow. At this rate, I cannot win.
引きはしない。今の私には守るべきものが、守りたい世界が、守りたい人が、マスターがいるのだから。
That's me. I think of her and inhale deeply once more. Then the power of me. I play it out. I change the somber feelings into song. The melody I weave takes shape and counters every attack that Solitus unleashes. Here and now, born for the first time, my first spell, still unnamed by anyone, a blessing of light created by me.
お前はなぜそのような顔を？
It's the face of love, true love. While handling his spear, Solitus shouts at me as I smile and sing. It's because right now I'm not singing to defeat him. Simply with all my heart, I sing with feelings for Renoni. That's me. Entirely devoted to her. Fighting, magic are nothing but extra results.
不思議だ。なぜか自然と笑みが浮かんでくる。この満ち足りた気持ちを人は何と呼ぶんだろう。
They call it.
彼らは何と呼んだんだろう。
It's not to take. I sing to protect what I cherish. I wonder if this song is reaching them who have already passed on. It was a song filled with love.
信じよう。祈ろう。
Reach them. Reach those two. And reach Renoni. That's me.
残念だ。私は叶うのだ。この歌を歌っていたかった。
But there's no time. No time would be enough. While reluctant, I should end this soon. The time of judgment draws near.
お前を停止させるためならば、この身が砕けようといとわぬ。
Perhaps out of irritation, Despite taking arrows flying into him, Solitus flaps his white wings and approaches me. His spear approaches at high speed. It would be impossible to avoid from here. A simple barrier would likely be breached. In that case, I'll abandon fighting as an angel.
お前の砲術ってやつ、確かに強力なんだろうけどよ。接近戦に持ち込まれたらどうするんだ？
Good looking out, Ignis.
いいか、万が一てめえの得意な空中戦で相手が懐にまで飛び込んできたら、深く考えねえで、とにかく思いっきり。
蹴り上げる。
With no form or anything, I do an excessively crude kick straight up. However, it makes an impressive direct hit at the completely unexpected move and impact. Solitus lets go of his spear. Then I lower my raised foot and drive my heel into Solitus' body. Having released the spear of the oracle, his body begins to plummet at full force. I fold in my wings and dive after him in pursuit. The spear spinning through the air immediately teleports back into Solitus' hand. He then takes up a posture to counterattack me.
あ、いるか。何？少々素振りをしていただけだ。
Get looking out, my first scenario, hubby.
貸してやりたいところだが、お前の力ではまともに振るうことはできん。お前の翼を生かし、高所から重力を利用して震えると、あるいは可能かもしれない。
I deploy a bright magic circle at my back. I roughly thrust my hand into it. And not arrows, but a far longer bladed weapon immediately takes form. I remove it as though swinging it down. Solitus' face turns to surprise, taking that chance. I drive the sword of light down, its power burning even in my palms. It's received, but I doubt even this would be enough to finish him. I just have one aim, to keep this man falling. As though saying, I won't let him take flight, I keep putting strength into my arms and hold Solitus down further and further. However, the sword is immaterial. It's no match for a spear made by God and quickly begins to crack, but I don't mind. The lowest floor is already right before my eyes.
俺の魔法が大雑把すぎていかがなものか。イルが細かすぎるだけな気もするけど。それにいざという時が訪れるかはわからないけど、イルだって追い詰められた時は計算なんて放り出して自爆覚悟で戦う覚悟が必要になるかもしれないよ。
That's right. Don't think. Calculations are unnecessary. Just act as you see fit. Something not from the record of any angel. What Renoni, that's me, extended her hand to save, my own self, who lived at Enchant, using the personality that too built up. When the sword of light shatters, Solitus' spear is also knocked away. Aiming for that moment, I deploy another attack spell at my back. I press myself against Solitus and grip his body with force.
何を
My own body and his. Damn. Yeah, that boy out of here. Together with the full power bombardment of light, all are slammed into the tower's lowest floor. It's like a match of Tekken right here. Together with Solitus, we tumble on the floor, groaning in pain.
神聖霊力炉より肉体修復用の霊力を
その権限を破壊します。
It would be a bad joke if he got refreshed, so I used the judgment program to sever his connection to the spirit furnace. Fortunately, being on the bottom, he took far more damage. It should have been enough to subdue him. Somehow, I get the strength in my arms to raise my body, and as I make a face straining in pain,
認めんあのような洗練さのかけらもない天使にお前にふさわしくない粗暴で無駄な戦術に敗北するなど
Likewise, he drags his arms and legs to rise up, and Solitus repeats his unacceptance as our gazes intersect.
あなたが私の大事な人を殺すと言った時点で、戦い方になどこだわるつもりはありませんでした。
With my consciousness cleared up, I use my own spirit energy to close my wounds and slowly look towards the heavens, the barrier floating in the air, seeing Renoni, that's me, inside and confirming her to be safe. I feel relieved. As promised, when I stand up to return to her. Oh. Now you got me feeling sad. I hate when stories and games be having me feel bad for the bad guy. But it's never as simple. There's always that gray area. Solitus, much like when I fell into despair, starts desperately begging me to stop. His voice sounds weaker than ever before, and that cold light in his eyes is gone. Just like me, his will was controlled by God. The thing sealed away Solitus's true.
いくらなぜお前は東古代が追いかけるほどに逃げるのだなぜ伝わらない東古代は私はただお前という長年そばにいた友を失いたくなかっただけだというのに
The tune of emotions being born rings out. Dots. Ah, I see. So that's why. Why he didn't care about the means. Why he was so stubborn about recovering me. The true reason was... several thousand years ago, from the time of our creation, when neither of us had emotions.
断罪の使徒よ。これより東古代とお前の本格的な運用が開始 お前の隣に並べる古代は東古代のみ。東古代の隣に並べる古代もまたお前のみ。故に共に神の領域としてこの世界の安寧を守護することを東古代と契約せよ。
That's from me as two. Thinking back, even though I didn't possess the will to reply, despite understanding that, he always continued to talk to me.
現在確認できる罪人の全断罪を確認した。よって新たな信託が降りるまで培養層にて活動を停止せよ。断罪の使徒よ。その間のお前のメンテナンスは東古代自ら担当する。
That's from me as two.
案ずるな、断罪の使徒。仮に欠陥品や侵入者がこの先長く現れず、何百何千年とお前が目覚める機会が訪れずとも、東古代はお前のスペックを完璧に維持し、その隣にあり続ける。なぜなら東古代はお前の片翼なのだから。
More dots from me as two. Why did I never realize this? Saying things like, no need for concern. One would never say such a thing to someone truly considered to be a mere puppet. Facts, Sarama.
気づいていますか、ソリツ。あなたの翼、少しだけ黒ずんでいます。
So now we can be it unshot together.
神からの信託ももう聞こえないでしょう。いずれきっと私と同じく黒き翼が混じり始めるはず。
It's likely that God had noticed Solitus' emotion toward me, but twisted and manipulated him to use him.
あなたが私に抱いたその執着は紛れもない感情です。あなたはずっとあなた自身が否定してきた感情によって私を追いかけていたのですよ。
That emotion he holds, that was taken advantage of. It's likely what people call friendship. Friendship? Try again. Those who know, know. Time to freak out. Let it out. Let it all out. The emotions that Solitus loses control of echo out through this tower. Then, after catching his breath, he mutters feebly,
殺せ。追憶の人の仇を取るがいい。
殺しません。私はまだ誰かを恨めるほど感情が育っていませんから。
Wow.
ソリツ、私は確かにかつてあなたによって絶望しましたが、あなたが隣にいた間は少なくとも孤独ではなかった。
There's nothing more I can say. I stand up and flap my wings.
さようなら。あなたが正しく落ちることを願っています。
I soar to meet back up with Renoni, that's me. Despite knowing his unrest and grief, I cast it all aside and leave him.
正しく落ちろだと。信託も持ち得ぬ私には、もはや何一つわからない。お前は、私にどうしろというのだ。
どうしよう。Back to my perspective. After settling things with Solitus, II dispels the barrier and picks me up again. Then we fly towards the summit. II, is Solitus?
彼ならばきっと大丈夫。私の相棒だった男ですから。それよりも急ぎましょう。戦いが予定よりも長引きました。霊力炉の稼働時刻が迫っています。
From there, nobody got in our way. Like a shooting star, II continues soaring straight up to the seat of God. All them S words. We finally reach the summit and land before God's eyes, but that's an exclamation point for me. The beautiful light floating in the sky fills up normally cold. And the sky above is a giant wormhole. It's right up close. Matching the sounds from the pipe organ, the spirit furnace begins to glimmer divinely, as though seeking an offering for salvation. The wormhole is open. Don't tell me it already.
いいえ、まだ間に合います。霊力炉が完全起動する前に。
どう間に合わせるというのだ。
Spoken like a true bad guy. Oh, it's supposed to not be a bad guy. It is God. At the summit blessed by the light of the spirit furnace, the pipe organ bathed in that light, God asks II a question. However, II doesn't lose his composure and faces the opponent he intends to overthrow.
神、最後の忠告です。どうか考え直してはいただけませんか。あなたが掲げる救済は、かつてあなたが不要だと切り捨てた人間と同じ。いいえ、それ以上の傲慢な罪です。
ならぬ。このままではカエル部の安寧が不変が崩壊するがゆえに。
そうですか。ならば私が取る行動はただ一つ。
After God's unwavering intentions, this time, II shows clear hostility.
不変と安寧を否定はしません。誰にでも失いたくないものや永遠に残したいものは存在するでしょう。ですが、だからといって前に進みたいと思うものを切り捨てることを認めることはできない。故にあなたを撃つ。これが私の最後の断罪だ。
私の前では指先一つ動かせぬお前に何ができると。
Or so you think. Like last time, God plays the tune to make II submit. However,
何？
due to II's judgment program, it's instantly neutralized.
個体番号オールゼロの生体コードスキャン解析を開始。
That's from II.
断罪プログラムだと。 あの小賢しい男の異物か。
God appears to recognize the existence of the virtuous scientist and shows a tone of unrest for the first time. Dots and an exclamation point for me. Even that God has lost composure. The God that always had a cold voice and treated II as nothing more than a puppet. To him, the judgment program must just be that threatening. We can do it. At this rate, we can win. When I start to feel confident,
理解した。確かにそのプログラムを有するお前は、私を破壊できる唯一の天使なのだろう。しかし、お前にはできまいよ。
why the heck not? Why? We destroy you, we destroy the world now?
あれだけ無様に人形に戻りたくないとわめいていたお前にはな。
A sneering answer is returned, which crushes that hope. Dots. What? Return to being a puppet? What does that mean? When I ask, trying to know more. Dots from II, because he already know. II keeps his eyes averted and doesn't answer at all. The one to answer was the enemy we intended to defeat now.
理解していなかったか、人間。断罪プログラムとは、私を自戒させるためのもの。
I know that much. That's why he said he needs to temporarily merge his consciousness with yours. Lion.
意識の同一化というのは神へ自戒を作用させるための一時的なものですから。もともと肉体も分離していますし、私に何ら影響はありませんよ。
But II himself said it would be fine.
その認識の誤りを指摘する。
A lapse in judgment to judgment.
一時的では不十分だ。求められるのは完全なる同一化。さらに言えば、同一化の真の条件は意識だけではなく、断罪の使徒の存在そのもの。すなわち、入れ物たる肉体以外の感情、意志、その存在たる魂を代償に行われる。
I let out a hoarse breath at what this means, at what that means, the true meaning.
理解したか、人間。事実上一心となった私を破壊すれば、断罪の使徒はその魂ごと砕け散り、生命としても機能しない。正真正銘の壊れた人形と化す。あの時のような奇跡は二度と叶わぬと知れ。
I'm guessing that's gonna be the bad ending. I don't know what the heck. Dots and an exclamation point for me. In mere moments, my hope is completely repainted into despair. II, this is a lie, right? What God's saying, everything. After all, back at that time, you said it would be okay. I immediately seek an answer from him, but
マスター、嘘をついてごめんなさい。
an angel who lies. dots and exclamation points for me. The words he offered me were no comfort, no lie, but simply straightforward, as if that were the only way. They were words of despair. Then, if he destroys God, too will... Why? You finally regained your emotions. You were finally supposed to be free.
このままでは霊力炉が稼働し、何もかもが終わってしまうのです。
So that's why he asked if you like cafe and shot, because he was just gonna whisk us away to another world.
あなたの世界が、あなたのアンシャンテが、そして私が帰るべきアンシャンテが。
He says it's the place for him to go home to, but that won't be possible. II simply gazes up at God in silence.
揺るがぬか。だが同一化し、断罪プログラムを起動させたとして、私の破壊に用いる力をどう得るつもりだ。そのプログラムにて行えるのは、あくまで私の破壊権限を得る。つまり、攻撃を通すことが可能となるだけ。だとして、私を破壊するには、圧倒的に霊力が足らぬである。当然、逆賊に霊力炉を使用する権限などあるはずもない。
そんなことは承知の上です。しかし神よ、やはりあなたは傲慢だ。かつてあなたを生み出した強欲な権力者たちと同じように。どうして今まで自分の体同然に利用してきた霊力炉の中身を把握していなかったのか。
何？
II quietly speaks in an admonishing way.
この塔の研究室に保管されるサーバーミカエル。
The angel Michael, he said Miko. I'm just gonna say Michael. A server that stores memory data for angels born in Calum, regardless of past or present. In the human world, it is said to be the name of a certain angel. I know a little bit.
生き死ににかかわらず、この世すべての天使の記録、いいえ、記憶を保管する膨大な精神領域。それに触れたとき、私はとある事実を知りました。我ら天使は元をたどれば祖は人間、故に魂があり、だからこそ感情が芽生え堕天する。死して体を失い霊力炉に返されたとしても、その事実は変わらない。つまりあなたと私が今まで奪ってきた天使の命が、魂が、意志が、あの霊力炉の中には残っている。確かにあなたは霊力炉の機能すべてを掌握しているのでしょうが、まさかそこに宿る幾千幾万の魂を操る術までは有していないでしょう。彼らが自発的に私へ霊力を供給してくれるならば、私はあなたを破壊できる。
Okay, II, I see you.
魂が霊力炉に残る。バカな、そんなことが。
神よ、再三望まれていた通り、この身をあなたに返しましょう。ただし 私が下す最後の断罪とともに。
When II shouts loudly, light, much like fireworks, erupts from his body, the merger with God, as though displaying its beginning. The wings on his back turn to pure white. This overly beautiful spectacle is hope for the world and despair for me. I'm sure he won't stop now. There's no way he can stop. After all, II found the determination and came all the way here. That's why all I can do is cling to his body in a pathetic way. You said that there are lots of things you want to do with me, that you want to do more chores, that you want to visit my hometown. Me too, a future with you. I wanted to be with you more. My feelings overflow, and I can't hide them from him. Dots of exclamation points from II. His voice chokes up slightly, but that hesitation turns to a smile.
できるなら私もあなたと光ある未来を歩む。どえた心を手放したくない。壊れた人形になど見たくない。あなたと共にもっともっといろんな感情を学んで生きたかった。すぐその生きる場所が私たちの大切な思い出の世界がこのままでは失われるのです。
That's an exclamation point from me.
だからどうかこれ以上は引き止めないで。
I don't know why, but I like this background music. It get me amped a little bit.
最後ぐらいは男らしく格好をつけてあなたにこの姿を記憶に焼き付けてもらいたいのです。
Oh, II, you're everything to me. With a gentle voice, II steps further ahead. Then, as though shaking off all lingering attachments, he takes a big breath and raises his head.
炉の内に返された同胞たちよ、私の罪たちよ、今すぐその瞳を開け。
With emotion, offering up his soul to God, he shouts loudly.
断罪者たる私が権限を持ってその眠りを破壊する。そして神の一部として許可する。思考せよ。何が正しく何が間違っているのか、神に味方するもよし、私に味方するもよし。ミカエルのうちにて私の心に触れ、その胸に説明できない何かが生まれたのならば、強制はしない。その感情に従い行動せよ。
やめろ。
God's control doesn't make it in time. The spirit furnace floating in the sky temporarily stops its absorption actions. It begins to pulsate. From there, without God's command, countless bits of light fall like snow. Dots from the souls and the spirit energy. Each one has a will, a soul.
断罪の天使、その発言の意味を完全に理解することはできない。その叫びとこの胸に宿った恩のあなたへの加勢を生活。
It's a little wild to see Deceased Angel as the name. Some ally themselves with II.
色一つ変えずに殺したお前に貸せるものかよ。
And you're gonna have some that choose not to help. Some give themselves to God. As more and more light falls into II's body,
ならば霊力が満ちる前に貴様を破壊すればよいだけのこと。
without waiting for the angels to finish, God decides to eliminate II. Just like when he was being controlled, giant circles of light stack onto each other and collect the falling light.
大規模破壊術式第2位ケルビムを発動。
I think that was in Persona. One of the personas you can create. Correct me if I'm wrong. Due to the merger and focusing on absorbing spirit energy, II can't counterattack or defend himself. After a span of only seconds, the arrogant light of God's wrath faces us.
標準固定。私自らこの愚かなる人形もどきに断罪を。
As though interrupting that, Solitus. Ah, the bros. Like saying he won't let his friend die. A life in sacrifice, an angel full of song. The spear of the oracle is lunged into the air. The desperate throw crashes into God's strike. With the recoil, the intruder from the tower, Solitus is blown away, but disregards this and shouts.
断罪を神殺しを成し遂げよ。我が友II Fado de Rie.
So now you're gonna say the game name? Just call him Judgment, bro. As though responding to his shout, gently, the last grain, no, 2 grains of red and blue spirit energy fall onto II's body.
私たちの魂でよければ、いくらでもあなたの背中を押すわ。
Oh, it sounds like the angels of recollection, or the apostles of recollection. Taking them onto his palms as though embracing them, II takes them into his body, then
やめろ。私はまだこの安寧を不変を権力を手放すつもりなど。
God's decree finally reveals his true nature. Ignoring the begging, II declares,
霊力の吸収を完了。破壊術式第1位セラフィンを私の専用術式として再構築する。
the strongest of attack spells that is said to hold power sufficient to destroy the sun. While it normally takes a different shape, II reformed it into a bow and arrow to use it against God. In the human world, this term is coined to a class of high-ranking angels, seraphim. Light gathers. And then what else? To end everything. Light to take the person I cherish away. No! Oh. A shining bow and arrow. It appears into II's hands. And he draws it aimed at God's center. The merger with God progresses. As emotions vanish from his eyes, overflowing light gathers into the arrow's tip. I'm sure when it all gathers there, the approaching end will be. No matter what reasons I'm told, there's no way I can accept it. Do I want to cling to him, or do I want to support him? Even I don't know. All I do is desperately embrace his body. But two is losing the ability to even understand the meaning of my trembling. Yeah, I don't like the sound of that staticky voice too. But yet he continues despite the noise in his voice. That's from II. His heart, his emotions that he finally reclaimed are disappearing. He's turning empty. Oh, you guys. While all I can do is grieve at the unfair fate before my eyes. Just a bit. A somewhat gentle voice drops. Huh? When I look up, II is desperately using his broken emotions to give me a smile. Oh my gosh, I'm not. It's just. I really didn't think anything would be as sad as Riddles. Okay. And that's an exclamation point for me. Strength leaves II's knees, but I quickly support him. Oh, this is no good. No matter how he arranges his words, his will is unchanged. And I came to like that. Honest and straightforward too. I can't deny that. In that case, at least, it's okay too. Your smile is really beautiful. with a pathetically shaking voice that even I want to laugh at. I answer. Then I shut my eyelids tight to force the tears blurring my sight to fall out. It's just crazy. You guys are making it too emotional. I promised myself I wasn't gonna cry after Rendo. To burn his smiling face into my eyes. Drops flow from II's eyes as well. No! Already, he probably lost self-awareness. But II's voice desperately stringing words together are brimming with happiness. That's me. Promise? Right. II finally reached it. What he promised to excuse me. Alright. My emotions. What he promised to declare back then. The signal of our parting, that emotion. But I was the one who made him promise, wanting to teach him. So I won't say anything selfish anymore and accept his words straight on. Okay, I said I would wait. After all, tell me, II, with that smile and voice I like so much. II makes a small nod at my words, narrows his eyes with fading light. Why do you have to end it with this scene? I don't like sad love. That was his last song. His fingers fall limp with no strength. The bow of judgment is released. The grand body of God shatters into shards of metal, and at that time, all of heavenly world Calum is engulfed in a gentle light. What the fuck? No, that was the bad ending. That had to be the bad ending. No. I'm gonna let it play out, you guys.
あなたに寄り添い
ほどける距離触れた手は熱く
ありふれてる日常が色づいては
求めるほど
深くなってく
心を満たすぬくもりがいつまでも続くように降り注ぐ光に包まれて君となら歩き出せる愛が生まれたこの場所で With your love 二人だけのeternal
Man, oh man. I'm getting tired of these sad chapters. Yes, thank you. It has to be something after that. Oh, we got more dots. Even more dots. Even more dots. I want to see. Oh, that seems like the prologue. Oh, wait. Okay, there's more. Okay. All right. Because I'm like, no. So question mark is the name and dots and exclamation points. Some more dots and a question mark. Less dots. More dots. No. What is this? A freaking note. I don't want to read a note. I want my two. To my cherished Renoni, that's me. If you are reading this letter, then everything must have ended as we hoped. Please forgive me for explaining everything to you much after the fact. However, I simply couldn't bear to reveal what would happen to me, to you, beforehand. If I did, in the end, I wouldn't want to leave your side, and I would betray my determination to oppose perpetuity. Dots. After slaying God, I will likely enter a state near death, barely something that can be called alive. However, if by chance, if of my shattered soul, by some miracle, even the smallest fragment remains, Renoni, that's me. At that time, one more. Yes, one more, please. Regenerate like Cell, like Piccolo. Oh, please. Yes, back to my perspective. That's from me. The letter cuts off there. After all this time, I happened to visit his room to clean up, but to think I'd find something like this. It was shoved in the back of the shelf as if to hide it, so I assumed Tu hadn't wanted it to be found. He must have written it to still his determination or to caution himself. Tu, even to the very end, you're unfair. 1 year? Jeez Louise. 1 year passed since he exchanged his soul to put an end to God's salvation initiative. With God slain, Caleb was flung into a state of chaos. God, who had been the supreme ruler, has now disappeared, so that's only natural. In particular, the confusion of normal angels who suddenly sprouted emotions with God's death was monumental. Right now, Solitus with Epilogue as the representative of fallen angels and others keep all of them in order. A world entirely dependent on God until now will likely take a long time to truly become self-reliant. During this, after slaying God, II's emotions and soul were shattered. And afterwards, exactly as God said, this time, in the truest sense, he's no more than a broken puppet lying strewn out and collapsed. With no strength, he cannot stand or sit or even raise his head on his own. In fact, he doesn't even breathe. I can't hear his heartbeat. The key that saved him before, the memory server Michael in the tower, broke along with the destruction of God. With the faintest hope, we all tried taking II to see Titania, or Titania. I'd be pronouncing things wrong forever, and then it's supposed to be pronounced this way. I can no longer see II's mind, she said, and could do nothing but sadly shake her head. In other words, that means his soul has been completely lost. Of course, in such a state, II can't live any sort of decent life in the human world or Unshan. So, at present, he quietly sleeps alone in the nourishing tank in the tower facility, at least trying to restore his bodily functions. But even that is nothing more than a blind shot. Never again will a miracle like that occur. When God told me that back then, turns to sadness and shakes my heart. That's from me. To hold back what's trying to fill my eyes, I bite my lip. I need to open the shop soon. Simply grieving won't change anything. If he was going to return, it would have happened already. There's only one thing I can do. I need to work harder as the owner. Unshan, I need to protect the place he protected. General perspective. At the same time, at the summit of the tower at the center of Calem, that's from Solitus. Solitus gazes at God's hollowed body with mixed feelings. While the slaying of God completely shattered the mechanical body, at Solitus's discretion, he ordered that at least the outer shell should be repaired to a minimum. Of course, he had no desire to restore God. He simply wished that no one could ever exert a will for domination is allowed on Calem. It is to remain as a symbol of warning. How many times have I repeated this line? As Solitus thinks this to himself, the presence of a familiar man appears at his back.
YEOWソリトゥス、姿が見えねえと思ったらやっぱお前は暇さえありゃここで黄昏れてんだ。
This fallen angel, Epilogi, is a strange man. We were once enemies, yet he speaks to me so casually, is what Solitus still thinks. However, he understands it's because of that personality that he's been able to prevent a fallen angel uprising to this day.
ここに来るたびに己の罪を認識する。イルファドでリ彼を友と呼んでおきながら、私は長きにわたりどれだけむごい仕打ちをしてきたのか。
そりゃまあ事実だろうけど、お前だって神に接続されてた以上は操られてたんだろう。ほなら
そんなものは言い訳にすらなり得ん。私が実行した以上は私の罪だ。
The wings on Solitus's back in the end never turned a fallen color and remained pure white. While he understands this is due to God being slain before he completely fell, he believes his wings are the evidence of his sins. Every time he catches sight of his wings, he says this to himself.
感情が芽生え、安定した今、幾度となく自分を殺したい衝動に駆られる。
ソリテス、そいつは
理解している。そのような形で己の罪から逃げることはしない。償いにはならぬだろうが、せめてこれ以上イルに新たな仕打ちはすまい。
いいのか。他の天使たちからは抜け殻になったあいつを新しい神に据えるよう嘆願が出ている。 そうするように書いてあった。
それは神という名の人柱だ。それがたとえ彼自身が望んだことだとしても、私は断じて応じない。
I don't want to speak more on the subject. Following his own heart saying this, Solitus decides to change the subject.
ビルの身体検査及びメンテナンスの予定時刻に迫っている。行くぞ。
Saying this to Epilogi, Solitus heads to the nourishing tank where he sleeps. However, inside the nourishing tank where he should be, yay, that's what I like to see, a broken glass. It was empty. Looking at the floor, there seemed to be shards of the broken nourishing tank.
バカな、いねえだと。あいつが自分で動けるはずがねえし、もしかしてあいつを神に担ぎ上げようとしてる連中にさらわれでもって、うだうだ考えても仕方ねえ。すぐさまカエルの銃を。
その必要はない。
Epilogi looked like he'd fly off at any second, but Solitus stops him. The shards on the floor are from inside towards the outside. After seeing them strewn like this, he already had a guess.
我らへの手紙に残されていただろう。もし自分に魂が一かけらでも残っていたのならと。
まさか。けどよ、仮にそうだとしても感情は。
確かに完全に失われているだろう。忘れたのか。彼が感情を捨てたのも、感情を取り戻したのも、その全てはアンシャンテのマスターのためだ。
In that case,
彼に一から感情を生み出すのもまた彼女なのだろう。
back to my perspective. It was like any other day at Cafe Enchant. Several hours later, The customers order coffee and snacks depending on their mood and relax around this time. Unusually today, all of the regulars had been around since morning. No, all of them but one.
あれからちょうど今日で1年か。
区切りがいいせいか、あの時の異常気象、展開が明けたホールのことがあちこちでまた取り上げられてるね。
規模が規模だったからね。避難勧告まで出しちゃったし、完全には情報を消しきれないよ。
イルはまだ向こうで眠り続けているのだろうな。
For a moment, Kana sends a consoling look in my direction. It's okay, first scenario hubby. I'll be alright. But, as though saying I don't mind, I wave my hand and smile. When everyone talks about II with consideration, that makes me far sadder.
展開からの連絡がないということは、やはり未だ変化がないのだろう。
バカだよな、あいつ。たったの3日だぞ。そんだけしか本当の意味で自由や心を得られなかったってのによ。それっぽっちで満足して、俺らに黙って勝手にあんな終わり方を決めやがって。そうね。彼の人生はあまりに自由がなさすぎだ。シャンテで得たものが大きかったんだろうね。
Dots from everyone. Dots from me. If that's true, I'd be happy. But among that, not having you here too makes me this sad too. Luckily, nobody heard me say that to myself. Afterwards, a while later, in another coincidence, everyone had some business to attend to. Rendo heads to GPM. Everyone else needs to go back to their own worlds for a time. To see off today's last guest, Monsieur, I stand in front of the gate.
今日も美味しいコーヒーごちそうさま。
Thanks. I'll be awaiting your visit tomorrow too. Monsieur grabs the doorknob and goes to open the door, but he says and stops for a moment.
そういえば今日裏庭にシーツ干してなかった？今日夕方から雨だったと思うけど。
Thanks for the reminder. Oh, that's right. Thanks for reminding me, Monsieur. All right, I'll go right now. Dots. More dots.
裏庭にシーツか。あの時の話を思い出しちゃうな。あの場所とこの店がある限り、君と彼女の思い出が色あせることはないんだろうね。いる。
After hurrying into the backyard, I quickly started taking down the sheets. All right, then. The sheets used in my room are small, so I finished those really easily, but... Whoa! The sheets used in the other rooms are a lot bigger. They're rather hard to handle. I struggle and manage to carry one inside, but there are still a lot more. That's from me. This always reminds me of... That certainly isn't a sad memory. It was a fun, beautiful memory. I remember back about that day. I feel like even now, I could hear his singing voice. I smile and go to continue my work. A strong wind blows, because it could be taken as wind, but I'm pretty sure it may be wing in this sentence. So a strong wind, I was about to say wind, what the heck? All right. A strong wing blows and the sheets blocking my view ahead flutter. In that moment, I see a gap between floating white curtains. Yay! It has to be an illusion. Dots. Huh? Some more dots. I begin to make out the illusion, as though it could fall over at any moment. With staggering steps, it begins to walk towards me. So yes, it's not the bad ending. Heck yeah. The white cloth, as though making way for him, flutters open widely once again. Yay! My 2! With the blank look in his eyes, but it's 2! Dots from 2. Before my eyes, he with white wings on his back stands quietly. Several dots from me. Is this not an illusion? Then why? How? Those questions, due to my shock, do not form into words. Dots from 2. 2. He simply continues to stare at my face with eyes that have lost their light. Several seconds pass. Tens of seconds pass. Then... Oh, he's speaking, y'all. He's speaking. Dots and an exclamation point from me. He speaks. What I wanted to hear for so long, his clear, beautiful voice. But not the amnesia bit. That single line tells me the reality that I've been lost from his mind. However, I'm the owner of Enchant here, Renoni Awaki. Feeling that him simply standing here is more than enough, I say my name with a smile. Dots from 2. More dots from 2. Dots and a question mark from me. When I said my name with a smile, II closes the distance more and stares intently at my face. Then, it really was slowly, gradually, his eyes.
マスターあそうだ私はあなたに会わなければならないとずっとひたすらあなただけを探していました。なぜかはわからないけれど、
The light returns.
どうして私はあなたを探していたのでしょう。
That's from me. That's because deep in my chest, part of me begs to scream, but all I can do, unable to control my overflowing, heated emotions. Most likely, you had the same feelings as me. Much like II, awkwardly, I can only answer in a somewhat childlike way. At my answer, II tilts his head in a puzzled way.
あなたと言葉を交わすたびにこの胸に生まれる苦しくてでも手放したくないと思ってしまうこんな痛みを
Yeah, and now I can finally answer your confession. II, I like you. I love you too. With a gentle tone of wind, my confession reaches him. Right after knowing that, his absent-minded eyes sway greatly.
今の私は
Right now, what to you two?
何もかもがあやふやで自分のこともろくにわからない
Oh, II.
ですがたった今一つだけ思い出しましたこの感情に従い何をすべきなのかを
There's that gentle II smile. Oh, yeah. From crying to sweetness, he gently draws me in close. Of course, that's from me. I don't resist, and our lips touch. It was different from the nervous kiss that night, and that's from II. As though confirming my existence, a kiss seeking all of me.
そうだ
Yeah, I love it. I love it so much. I thought for sure I had the bad ending, but how could there be a bad ending with II?
このぬくもりをあなたを
As II opens his heart, I see a light in his eyes. The tone of his voice all returns.
私はずっと求めていた
As the letter he left before said, remaining in his body, a single shard of his soul does its best to gather up his his scattered heart.
あなたじゃないと嫌だったんだ。
That's right, too.
あなたに抱いたこの感情の呼び名と告げるべき言葉を私は覚えています。マスター、私は愛してます。あなたを愛しています。
Yeah, heck yeah. Yay! Me too. I do. Too. I love you. Ah! Filled with only this emotion, our lips touch once again. I want to make sure that this miracle of him having returned isn't just an illusion. The pulsing of his life, almost as though biting into it, then his wings begin to mix with black. That's right, the angel who fell to despair before has this time fallen in love. Yes, now that's a fin. Heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Ah, so beautiful. Now let's get that creepy prologue again. I'm used to it now. Wind brushes the infinite, colorless world like a breath. When he leaves, I'll be alone again. And if he returns, I am certain all I would have for him is apathy. Oh shit. Come on. Yes, I knew it was gonna be something. I didn't know it was gonna be something, but okay. I get scared a lot, y'all, so don't judge me. Yes. That's right. So who's that person? I guess it's the same, just colored out. This is unfair. All right, all right.
もうすぐ会えるね。
Heck yeah. So we'll see who that mysterious... Yes, the favorite person I've been looking to finally get through. Monsieur's route is now finally unlocked. Yes, we've been grinding and hustling on through the characters now, y'all. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Next up will be finally Monsieur's route. So I'll get through that and some more Mafia, the Old Country, and Resident Evil 4 since it's finally next to October. Well, we still in Spooktember, that's what I like to call it. And then Resident Evil 4 visual novel, and then South of Midnight, and Silent Hill F is coming out in less than a week, and then Ghost of Yotai. So your girls just, I'm looking out for all of them. And like I always say, Death Stranding 2 will be stranding forevermore. By the time I get that out, it'll be Death Stranding 3. But no, for real, thank you all so much for always watching. Oh, jeez Louise. All right, so I guess I'll just leave it off right here. Oh man, you guys don't even know. I just want to get right into Monsieur's route, but I'm just gonna let it breathe for just a little bit, as always. So yes, and if you enjoyed this as much as I did, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and turn that bell jingle on so you all stay tuned in, my wonderful people filled with greatness. Also, don't you dare forget to share this with someone you love or someone you hate. Either way, it helps your girl out as always. Much love and much peace, and catch you on the flip side.